Yeah, Tony's taking it. Good evening. Welcome to the Boleyn Lounge. I've got my regular co-host Mick with me. Hi Mick, how are you?
How are you, Jeff? Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome anytime. It's good to have you.
Not as grumpy as last week, not as tired.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, you were a bit quiet. I was surprised last week.
Well, you kept telling me
I was
last. You said you couldn't get a word in, so I thought I'd shut up as I was too tired anyway.
Yeah, you've had a good week though, have you?
Yeah, sound. Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. And England are 1-0 down, but got a penalty now, so hopefully Tony's going to equalise. I'll just let you know about that.
He'll put it to the right. His right, Tony's right, bottom corner. That's his favourite.
No, he put it the other way.
Did he? Did he score?
He did, yeah.
Goalkeeper go the wrong way.
He did. Goalkeeper went the wrong way, yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, enough of England.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good penalty. Cool as you like. I think you give him the eyes, actually, by looking at it. Yeah. Good penalty. Well taken. Anyway, better get on with the show, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we're going to have a little preview of upcoming fixtures tonight, and then we might have a little bit of chat about England later on.
Yeah.
So I've made some slides up, and we'll have a look at our upcoming opponents at Newcastle this Saturday lunchtime. What an awful kick-off time for all those travelling up there, but oh well, it is what it is, isn't it? What can you do?
Well, it's a good 5-hour journey from East London, son.
Yeah, it's a fair old journey, isn't it? We'll have a look at Newcastle here. They're currently 10th on 40 points, just a little bit behind us, but within touching distance. I've put a bit of current form up there, Mick. It's only Premier League form. I haven't included any cup games in there. So they're in, I don't know, fair sort of form. Win some, lose some.
Yeah, they're just looking at. I mean, it's another possession team that's, mid-table really, aren't they? So
yeah,
for all their style, if you like, if you look at they've got high, even against Arsenal, they had 45% possession, which not a lot of people do that.
That's true.
If you're looking at their possession, then they're prime for West Ham, aren't they? Really, because West Ham do play better against teams that have possession and then break on them, as long as we don't go too deep. Yeah, and we haven't got Alvarez, so we can't afford to go too deep on
Alvarez is a big loss for us in our next coming games. He's a big loss any time. But
the one thing that's nice to see is under injuries and suspension is Callum Wilson, because I don't know what he does, but every time he puts a shirt on, whatever it is, and he plays against West Ham, he scores. So at least he's not there.
If we take a look at players that they haven't got available, obviously Tonali suspended for a long time. They've been without him pretty much all season. So, but I've included him in that list. But they've got some quite influential players out as well. I mean, for us, the fact that Botman's missing is quite handy. You know.
Well, it's handy. It's handy if Mickey's playing. Not so handy if he's not. You know. So yeah, because Bowen, as much as I love him, yeah, when Mickey plays up front, I know he scored a lot of goals, Bowen, but I just think when Mickey's up there, we look a different side. So hopefully he'll put pressure on whoever plays centre back and make a bit of room for the other two and Paqueta do their business. He's a handful, isn't he? He still is 33, but he's still a handful.
he's definitely a handful. And as you touched on, Wilson missing, I think, is a big plus for us. He always scores against us, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Joel Linton being out, I mean, he's been quite a revelation for them. He's played really well for them up until he was injured. So, again, a plus for us.
Yeah, I think the one... Go on, sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, no, so Trippier is possible to return against us. I don't know that there's been any decision made on that. And also Harvey Barnes is possible, but they may well be missing as well.
Yeah, I think the one man that would, he will play as long as he doesn't get injured at England, is Anthony Gordon. I think him against Soufal, I wouldn't want any balls played over the top of Soufal. Yeah, he'll never catch him. So we have to, that's one to watch in the game. But again, if West Ham sit back, which they probably will, he'll have less space in behind. But definitely needs us to break quickly against them.
Just say hello to a couple of people in the chat who've popped in. So, hi Rosie. Thanks for joining us, and please do as she says, smash the likes for us. And looks like Craig have joined us again. So evening, Craig. Thanks for joining us again.
Evening, Scotty.
And moving on to their danger men. I mean, Isak, he's a problem for us.
He's a proper centre forward, isn't he? So
yeah, he definitely is. Yeah. And 12 goals in 20 games. This term's a pretty good return, isn't it?
Well, he was linked with us before we went there. We didn't get him, so let's hope he doesn't do too much damage on Saturday, eh?
Yeah, he scored against us in the reverse fixture, didn't he?
Yeah, probably he gets sort of close to my friend Zuma. I think he'll turn him inside out. To be fair, just concerned. I say it every show. Just concerned that Zuma's still supposedly the kingpin of the defence. I don't see it, but there we go. We'll see what happens on Saturday.
Well, I think the problem with Zuma is, you're absolutely right. I think all of us are concerned about him, his mobility, and yet at times he still looks like one of our best defenders as well. He's quite alarming.
Well, he's an old pro, that will get himself in good positions to defend, but it's when they move him around too much and then he struggles, So the deeper we defend, the better he'll play. But when you start opening up, that's the problem with him. Once he gets dragged a metre this way or 2 metres that way out of a position he should be in, his recovery is just, you can see he just can't recover. Yeah,
and obviously you're welcome to add to this. This is just what I've highlighted as probably their influential players coming forwards, and Anthony Gordon's definitely one of those. And I think Koufal's going to need a bit of backing up this weekend, because he's likely to lead him a merry dance, I would say.
Yeah. Personally, again, you ain't picking the gaffer's team for him, but Glenn Johnson in terms of pace would be a much better option. Soufal's done great for us, but I do worry that when he gets a little bit of pace against him these days, he gets showing up. He gives away too many free kicks. He's starting to get a few bookings now as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and the other worry is with Gordon, if he comes inside, he's going to come up against potentially, we imagine it's probably going to be Mavropanos. And I'm not 100% convinced by him all of the time. And I really don't like the way he just sort of gets a bit flat-footed with these arms behind his back every opportunity he gets.
Well, I don't know why anyone does that. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I think Gordon could take advantage of that.
Well, I manage an under 10 side at the moment, coaching an under 10 side, and if I see one of them doing that, I go bonkers. Yeah, it's a whole Premier League nonsense. it's the most annoying thing to see in football, a defender running backwards with his hand behind his back. What a nonsense. Yeah. Absolute nonsense. You don't
I agree. I don't like it.
You don't have to put your arms behind your back, do you? You know, what they're saying is don't stick it out. So don't stick your arms out, you know, have a bit of balance. It's
I think there's times where you could justify perhaps doing that manoeuvre, but Mavropanos seems to do it every single time.
There are so many defenders in the Premier League doing that. You know, if you're blocking a shot, you want to do that, just keep your arms.
England has scored. Bowen. Oh, get in, son.
Oh, Jared.
Yeah.
Takes you know, once you have a hammer in the side, you've got half a chance of winning. That's what it's about. Jeff.
Yeah, might win a trophy.
Well, if we had 3 in there, we'd win the World Cup, wouldn't we? But there you go. You know, we're still the only club in the world to win the World Cup. So
yeah, for sure. Let's have a look at this. He's nipped in with a little header.
They got a header.
Yeah, from a corner, a free kick. I wasn't really watching. Just kind of glanced up and had a look. But 2-1 from a goal down, so not too bad. And then we've got, I've put Bruno in as one of their other danger men. He's very, very influential in the middle of the pitch there. And he could cause us problems as well.
No more influential than his fellow Brazilian, so yeah. Absolutely
not. But he's just a danger man for us, someone for us to look out for.
Yeah, it's interesting there though. He's for a man that's supposed to be of the level he is. He's only got 5 assists in 27 games. So yeah, he's not. Yeah, Paqueta had 5 assists in 4 games or something there. That little run when he came back from his injury or before his injury. I can't remember which way around it was. So no, just before his injury. He had 3 in the Wolves game, didn't he? A hat-trick and assist. Yeah. So yeah. I'm not.
One of the other.
Go on.
Yeah, one of the other interesting facts is I just included in there really is the number of yellow cards that Gordon and Bruno have picked up. I mean, 8 and 9 respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know where Gordon gets all his yellow cards from.
Just 3.2, 3.3, at 1 every 3, and just over 3 games they get a yellow card. And in the case of Bruno, it's 1 in every 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see Bruno perhaps in the middle of the park, you know, getting involved a little bit more, picking up a few bookies, much like Alvarez does.
Chases you down, Gordon.
Yeah. That goal was chalked off, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
He'll be gutted, Bowen.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a bit of information there on Newcastle. Looking forward to that game. Like you say, quite a possession-based side, and might suit us.
Yeah. What's the prediction? What are you saying?
I think if we get a draw, I'll probably be quite happy, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But I'd like to nip a win.
A draw would be a very good result up there, but
it would.
Yeah, I think if we score first, then it might be. Yeah, if we score first, we might shut up shop. We've been good at that in the past, not so much this season, but we were last season. So you know, you never know. I wouldn't expect any more than a draw, to be honest. For us, if we get a win, it'll be a very, very good win.
I think we look at the Bournemouth fixture there, where they had 63% possession, came out of it with a 2-2 draw. I mean, that kind of might mirror the sort of game that we're going to face on Saturday, and I don't know, it might suit us. We might be able to.
Well, they didn't equalise.
Cool enough.
They only equalised in the 92nd minute, so yeah, you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
You never know. You never know.
Can't predict football. That's the thing.
No, that's true. That is very true. So what's your feeling then on Saturday? You feel like we can get any kind of result up there?
Do I think we can get a result?
Yeah.
I think if you get a draw, you've done well. If you win, you've done very well. But yeah, if it comes back and it says Newcastle 3, West Ham 0, well, I'll be shocked. No. If it says Newcastle 0, West Ham 3, well, I'll be shocked. No. Yeah, they're not overly consistent sides, are they? Really? So, 7th and 10th respectively. When you see how far they are off of the Champions League teams, shall we say, or certainly off of the top 3, they're middle of the road Premier League team, and so are they, really, aren't they? Some would argue.
Neither of these sides. Neither of these sides are making the top 6 this year, are they?
Well, let's put it this way, yeah. If we was in Newcastle's position in 10th and they was in 7th, again, there's 4 points between you, and you could probably pick a couple of games where that could have happened easily. So, they're both. People will argue West Ham are 7th. Let's see if they end up 7th. Yeah, I think they're probably in the highest spot they're going to be for the rest of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, we could easily finish where Newcastle are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Other West Ham fans might disagree with that, but I don't think West Ham are a top. That they're a mid-table team, 10th, 9th, 8th at best. Yeah, can't see it. Yeah, I can't see it. But I hope
we touched on this, didn't we, when we had our... Yeah, for sure. But we touched on this, didn't we, when we were sort of talking about managers there the other week. And, we are basically a mid-table, 10th, 12th. Get the odd season when we get up 8th and 9th. The fact that we've done it
I think we're 10th.
3 years and been up there.
I think we're 10th or above, yeah. And if we come in anywhere in that, but as I said the other week, my expectation with the promise of the new stadium, the promise of European football, which you cannot argue with. We've had 3 seasons in Europe, and that's what the promise was if you move to the London Stadium. But you can't just, if you're promising that, you've got to keep giving it, and it's very, very difficult. So, my expectations is that we finish 6th. Well, is that Conference League again if you come 7th, is it?
It might even go down to 8th. So
what the Conference League?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it depends on English teams' coefficient in Europe and the performances.
Let's not go with it.
I'm not exactly sure.
Let's not go with the coefficient. Let's say it's 7th. Yeah. If we were to get back in the Conference League this year, then you'd settle for that. I mean, other people will say no. We should be doing better. I think we should be doing better. The only way we're going to get into the Europa League next year, well, it actually won't be. It'll be Champions League, won't it? If we won the Europa League.
If we won the Europa, we'd be in the Champions League. But I mean,
but that would be that's a waste of time. Just play the league games and then drop back down Europa League afterwards. So,
well, I mean, if we were to achieve that, it's all a bit pie in the sky, isn't it? But if we're having a hypothetical conversation here, if we were to get into the Champions League, in all honesty, what we'd be looking to do is not what Newcastle did and to finish 3rd in the group, isn't it? And get into the Europa League. We're not going on to threaten that competition proper.
No.
But to even take part in it, little old West Ham would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Well, we're not little old West Ham. That's the problem. That was the point of move into the big stadium, having the, massive crowds that we have. Little teams are teams like Bournemouth who have 10 or 12,000, no disrespect to them. Yeah, my own hometown of Luton, they're 10, 11, they're little clubs who do well to be where they are. But when you've got 60,000 people every week, 60-odd thousand people every week, you're not a little club anymore. And you're in the Premier League.
I agree with you, but I do think that we are viewed as little old West Ham still by lots of pundits.
Only idiots that support Tottenham and Arsenal, mate. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a goal. Tielemans again.
Yeah.
Header, diving header. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? So, after Newcastle, we've got one of the biggest games of the year, I would suggest, on a Tuesday evening, which
Well, that
is
moved us on nicely at Tottenham, didn't it?
Tottenham Hotspur, at home to Tottenham. So let's have a little look at their current form. Oh dear. Oh well. And their form's not too dissimilar to. I've got to put Greg's comment up. Yeah. Says, how dare you, Michael? Yeah, but moving on to Tottenham, the form's not really that dissimilar to Newcastle in a way.
What are they? 10 points ahead of us? Are they?
Yeah, 9 points. Is it? We're 44, are we?
What have they got? What have they got?
53 points.
53, 9. So three wins. Yeah, difference if you like, but they're hard earned in the Premier League. So, listen, I have to say, all jokes aside, look, I'm not one of the. I like football, yeah, and you have to say that when you watch Tottenham, they're an exciting side to watch. Yeah. Win, lose or draw. When you put the telly on and the Tottenham game, I do put it on. I know a lot of West Ham supporters don't watch Tottenham, but I'll put it under this manager. I'll put that on, and I have to say they play some cracking football. Yeah, and yeah, he's obviously the manager, Postecoglou, however you say it. Yeah, he's learning a different level of football this year, and to be fair to him, he's coping with it. Yeah, and I think Tottenham next year, if they buy the right players, which I'm sure they will, because they've got a few quid, that they'll be pushing even higher next season. Are they fourth now? They are just fifth. Who's fourth? Oh, Aston Villa.
Villa, yeah.
So yeah, they'll be pushing top three next year. They'll make the Champions League. They'll push Villa out before the end of the season.
Yeah, they're
only thing there. Sorry, Jeff. I just see that there. That Mickey van der Veen is out. Is he out for a while?
He's possible back for our game, but
he makes a difference to them.
Makes a massive difference to them. Yeah.
He's the best centre back, and they talk about Van Dijk and the two boys at Arsenal, but I wouldn't say he's the best centre back, but he's in their grouping, isn't he?
Yeah, his recovery is absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
And his reading of the game. I mean, he's right up there with the best centre halves in the Premier League. So, yeah, he would be a big miss.
If we look at their injuries and suspensions, I mean, really and truly, I mean, they've got a couple of players out, but it's no one of note, really, is it?
Apart
from Van der Ven, he's a big one.
Yeah. And they've got no danger men. I don't know where you got that list from. What danger men have they got? Yeah.
Well, I do think Son is a real danger man.
He scores the old goal. Overrated.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan. I'm a massive fan of his. To be fair, just he's just a top player.
Yeah, Maddison's another one. I think he's a lovely footballer, Maddison.
And that next one you got on the list, Kulusevski. Yeah, I mean, he is improved so much under Ange Ball, as they call him. Yeah, when he came last year, I thought it's a lot of money to pay. I think he's 32 or 3. I couldn't see it, but under this new manager that they've got, he's just sparkling. Yeah.
I mean, I've included Timo Werner on that list, which, kind of might raise your eyebrows at and say, well, not really. But I mean,
not really.
If you look at his 2 goals, 2 assists in 8 games, he's got quite a lot of goal involvement every other game. So, do
you know who he reminds me of? Do you know who he reminds me of? He's like you. All pace, get in front of goal, then miss it.
I don't think I would have missed some of the chances that he's missed.
No, but he is.
Yeah.
That's his big. He should probably have 6-7 goals on there from what I've seen at Tottenham. He's missed a lot of good chances. He'll probably go and get a hat trick on next Tuesday just to rub it in our noses. But he's an intelligent footballer. But his finishing at Chelsea wasn't the best, and it doesn't seem to be the best here. But the season he left to go to Chelsea, he scored 28 goals. So he has it, but can he do it in this Tottenham team? If he can't do it in this Tottenham team, he can't do it in any team. They make so many chances.
Yeah, they do. And that's kind of reflected in their stats, though. Although, if we have a look at them, I mean, they can be a little bit wasteful.
They are very wasteful.
Yeah,
16 shots, 6, 15 shots, 4, 14 shots, 6, The last game.
Strangely, the last game, 9 shots and 5 on target. They win 4-0. I mean, but that's almost like an anomaly to their how their performance is.
Yeah, that's what
but
I'm saying.
Another team that's high on possession stats there as well.
Yeah, well, they just
in a way might suit us again. We seem to like not having the ball a bit more.
Well, I say that is the only reason I said that against Newcastle, because I know that's how we're going to play away from home. Yeah, that's just what the manager does. But we have the last couple of games where he's played the 4 up front, if you like. Yeah, with Mickey and Paqueta behind the front 3. We look a so much better side, but we'll be wide open without Alvarez. That's the problem. There is no one to step in to Alvarez's shoes. That's the problem.
It's a huge loss.
Well, because it's similar to taking Declan Rice out of Arsenal or taking Declan Rice out of our team last year and not having a replacement. Obviously, we replaced Rice with Alvarez. Yeah, and he's settling in nicely. So, but he will be a massive miss in the next. I think he misses 3 games with Europe as well, doesn't he?
He misses the next 2 Premier League games and then the first leg of the.
That's what I'm saying. So our next 3 got 3 majorly important games. All games to the end of the season are majorly important for West Ham now. Yeah. They want to achieve what people tell us they should be. Yeah, I think with him out of the team, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost all 3 of them games for that reason alone. But I'm not saying we will. Yeah, again, if we were to get a point at home against these, be a very, very good point. But it's not taken us any nearer Man United. A point in Newcastle, a point here.
No, that's true.
That's the problem.
Another trend from Tottenham, if you notice, there's a lot of late goals in there. They scored in 6 minutes of injury time to Nick Brighton.
Yeah.
They scored in the 46th minute, so I guess that's early in the first. I don't know if that's injury time or at the start of the half against Wolves, which they ultimately lost that game.
They always put it plus, so it was first minute, second half.
3 pretty late goals, 77, 80 and 88 to actually beat Palace after being a goal down.
Yeah, but then they haven't got Thomas Soucek. He can score in the 96 minutes, so don't worry about late goals, mate. Yeah.
What I'm saying is it's a bit of a trend for Tottenham,
Yeah.
Even in their Villa win where they won 4-0, 2 of the goals are in injury time. So we need to be on our mettle for the whole game. Otherwise, we could be battling out and give it away.
Well, you can smell Newcastle defeat. You can smell a Tottenham defeat quite easily. But as I said, like with Newcastle, can't predict football. If I seen the 3-0 scoreline, Tottenham beating us 3-0, again, would I be shocked? No. If West Ham beat them 3-0, would I be shocked? I'd be a bit surprised, but I don't think I'd be shocked.
Surely. I'd be surprised if we won at Newcastle or Tottenham 3-0, if I'm honest.
But it's West Ham, isn't it? It's just what we do.
It is West Ham, yeah. It is West Ham. Talking about West Ham, I've made a little slide up for us for our current form. And, well, our form's much as our opponents, really. It's sort of a little bit abject in a way. As Hammers fans, we'd probably say that we had 2 disappointing draws in our last 2 games. We might say we had a bit of a lucky win with late goals away at Everton. Pretty handy win at Brentford. And, very disappointing result up at Forest from our perspective.
You see, it's strange. If you go from the top, what we were talking about, you see that even with the red card of Phillips, we still have 52% possession, which is not really our way, is it?
No.
It's not the way we normally. I'm not saying we can't have 52% possession because we're good enough, but we don't play that way. Brentford, big possession side. Is that Brentford's possession or ours?
No, all of the possession stats are for us.
Yeah, so again, to get 41% against Brentford. And then, again, we're talking about finishing, Jeff. 10 shots, 3 on target. 17 shots, 6 on target.
Yeah.
And, considering...
You look at Burnley, 22 shots, 4 on target.
Yeah, I mean, that is woeful. Yeah, that is just woeful. And that could cost us in the end, could cost us. Who's that there? What time? Yeah. No, it's woeful finishing. As much as Bowen, Paqueta, Kudos have scored goals, when you look at that percentage, it's a very low. It's 22 shots and 4 on target.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't say anything, but I thought I was looking at Luton Town stats there, in case anyone from Luton's listening.
There might be 1 or 2 from Luton. They might not take it very well.
One of them little clubs down the road.
Move to our injuries and suspensions. Obviously, we've touched on Alvarez. What a massive miss he is for us. And
there's two massive
question about it,
isn't it? If Kudos isn't playing, big miss.
Kudos has got the potential to be back. I don't know, but I don't know his exact status. So I'll put his potential to be back. And obviously, Cornet apparently is claimed that he's fit. But in all fairness, I doubt he's going to get selected.
He has no. You can't even comment on him. He has no influence on the team whatsoever because he's not played. So he's not any miss of any. He's not even worth talking about. He doesn't play. So, and that's not disrespectful to him. Yeah, the gaffer doesn't want him playing, and that's clear. So he's not a miss or an injury. He's just he's a nomad, and he's out of the picture.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
almost without doubt the archetypal image of a player that is completely frozen out.
He is totally frozen out. Yeah, the thing that. Again, it's only things you pick up talking to other people or reading stuff. They said that when he got that injury, he refused to come home from France, doing his recovery in London. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But it seems to be that's the consensus that is true. And Dick Moisey asked him to come back, and he said no. So, you know what it's like. You upset David Moyes, do it at your peril. So, I don't even know why he's at West Ham, why he hasn't been sold, to be honest. Well, injury probably. He's so injury prone, or he says he is. Yeah. Yeah,
and we've seen very little of him. But what we have seen of him, when we've seen him, for me at least, I don't think he's been very convincing. I know he came on in the European game and got an assist there, and I know people were calling for him to play a bit more, but we talk about playing against Farmers, and we literally were playing against Farmers in that game. And then he played. Who did he play? Did he play away at Burnley or Sheffield United? So I thought he was awful. He scored. He scored, but other than that, he couldn't pull out a 10-yard pass. I thought he was dreadful.
Well, the problem with him is he's been out of the game for too long now. Is he 18 months out?
Yeah, long time.
You can't. It takes time. Takes time to come back and be your best.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd left the studio. I thought you had enough of me, son.
My projector just went off, so I thought I'd better get my remote, turn it back on.
Right. So what we got here? Thomas, 6 goals, 1 assist, 28 games.
Yeah.
Good,
And
good.
in the key men, Areola is going to be. He's been key all season, I don't see there's going to be any change in that over these coming games. He could be the difference between us getting something and not, as he has been so many times.
Yeah, but you see, again, I don't know. You know, we don't really prepare for this show in talks, do we? You know what I mean? Because we like to talk off the cuff. But Areola's 4 clean sheets in 26 games. That doesn't really reflect on how he's played.
No.
And I am going to repeat myself because it's the thing that I think West Ham need to sort out. You know, until we get our centre halves playing together every week, the same 2 decent players who can defend properly. Yeah, then 4 clean sheets really are you know, they're a joke really. 4 clean sheets in 26 games. You know, you would expect more than that. Not from him. From a West Ham.
A bit astounded because coming into the season, I thought one of the areas that I did not think we were short was at centre half.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look now, what with departures and form, etc., I mean, we are short there.
Yeah. What? Excuse me, 1 second, please. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem.
Sorry. Yeah,
That's all right, Mick. No problem.
I read. I don't know what I was on the tube the other day, and I read something. I was on the phone or in the paper that are talking about extending Oggie's contract by another year, and I'm thinking, why bother? You don't play him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? You know.
I mean, the thing is, they extended his contract previously, almost as a reward for his loyalty when he had that injury and one thing or another.
Yeah.
And I think the fan base, we were all going, "Oh, well done to the club. That's, you know, paid him back and all of that kind of thing." But I mean, it's a problem. We're looking at our left-sided centre backs are going to be Zuma, Ogbonna, and an Agard that apparently doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah. I know we speak about this nearly every week we're on here, but when you put stats up like that, it just goes to show. You know, I'd love to see how many clean sheets Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City have, and that's people say that's not a comparison. It is a comparison because we're in the same league as them. Yeah, we're talking about being in Europe. I'm talking about the general noise that comes out of West Ham. Yeah, you know, and you cannot seriously contend having 4 clean sheets in 26 games for anything if you're not scoring like loads of goals, which we don't.
These are all reflective of the league, but
yeah. Well, it's the league we're talking about. You only get into Europe for the league unless you're going to win one of the European trophies, which, you know, all right, we've done that once. The likelihood of us doing it 2 years of the trot, the bookies wouldn't give you much odds on that.
And it comes down to it. If we're talking about European games, then we'll do European form and we'll do a reflection of how our performance is in Europe. But this is basically about the league. So all of the stats.
You've got your defensive midfielder, Thomas Soucek. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he really a defensive midfielder?
Well, that's where he plays. Yeah.
All right.
And he's got 2 more goals than our keeper has got clean sheets in the same amount of games, 2 games, more or less the same amount of games. So I don't know.
Obviously, we know our keeper Ketter is, don't we? I mean, he's just sort of makes us tick, really. I would have also included Kudos in this, but I don't know if he's playing or not, so I've excluded him this time.
If you had, while them four are on the pitch and Kudos, we'll always have a chance of scoring goals, that's for sure. But I'll go back to what I keep saying week in, week out. The ball goes forward and you're never comfortable that any team, no matter who it is, is not going to score against you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Obviously, we know how key Bowen is. And we touched on earlier, just briefly, we were talking, and, as Antonio's not especially clinical, but he offers so much in the game. So
even in his 17 appearances, I would doubt half a dozen of them are even startings. He's come on as subbing most of them, I'd say. Jeff, has he?
Yeah, and he's had a couple of gaps due to injury, hasn't he?
But he's also been coming on for 10 minutes and all that sort of thing in them games. So, it's not a fair reflection on Mickey, to be fair. Yeah, he
should be scoring more goals, right? As a centre forward, he should score more goals. But you put him up there, he keeps centre halves busy, he runs into the channels, into space. He does an awful lot of work. Call him a bit of a donkey at times, but Jesus, he does the donkey work all right. He works so hard. And he does the defensive work as well. He gets back and helps out.
Well, tell me then, let's go back. Since the days of Di Canio and that team, have we had a better centre forward playing for us in all that time? It might be West Ham fans out there going talking nonsense, but off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone that's played the centre forward role as well as he has in that time. I can't remember the last decent proper centre forward we've had.
Maybe Arnautovic, but he was a converted winger, right?
Yeah, but he done well. He did well, but very much in the mould of Mickey anyway. Yeah, the way that David Moyes played him, to be fair. Yeah. But yes, that's a good shout, I have to say. But you're struggling though, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we haven't got many.
Yeah,
we haven't got many.
Yeah. So until we can replace him, you can't really sell him. They're talking about is it En-Nesyri? Is that how you say it?
Oh, right. Well, we're linked with him.
Again,
every opportunity anyone ever gets.
Well, again, this week apparently he's been linked with us again.
I see we've been linked with Awonyi from Forest.
Have we?
Yeah, I mean, I just see him as a young Antonio, but maybe that's why we're being linked with him. I think his finishing's probably about the same.
He's an average at best.
I agree. I don't particularly rate him that highly, I have to say. So.
And if no, I'm not having that. It's just more the one that who's that?
Evening, Mama. Thanks for joining us.
The one I did like from Forest was what's wrong with me?
Gibbs White.
Yeah.
We've been linked with him as well.
Yeah, this week. That'd be a great buy. But anyway, that's to move on from.
But we've been linked with Ivan Toney as well, but I don't see that happening. I don't see him coming to West Ham, and I don't see. I mean, I know we're sort of going off the topic a little bit, but I'm not sure this is why Tim Steighton's been brought in. Is it to pay 60 million or whatever it'll be for Gibbs White and Solanke that we were linked with? They want 60 million for him. Going to be 50 plus million for Tony. That doesn't seem to be a Steighton type thing, does it?
Right, Tony, I like him. Yeah, but then you have
He's
to
a great
ask.
centre forward.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, there's a lot of hype around him. Where would he go? Would he go to Chelsea? Possibly, yeah. There's a
Maybe,
club.
yeah,
And
maybe.
there's a club. Then you take the rest. You take the teams that are up the top right now: Tottenham, top five: Tottenham, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City. Yeah, he wouldn't get into any of them teams. He wouldn't walk in there. He wouldn't be the centre forward starting off. So you're not going to pay 100 million for a player that's not going to start in your team, because that's what they'll charge for him if they go to clubs like that. Man United don't really need him now. Man United's front line is as good as anyone's. It's the other.
Well,
it's the other
Hoyland's starting to click now.
Well, they've got a great
had a slow
young
start,
forward line.
but
They've got a great young forward side. Garnacho, I'm not. Rashford's having another one of them spells, but he's still only 25. Hoyland, is he going to displace one of them immediately? I don't think he would.
Maybe not.
So the only club that's a huge club is Chelsea, and they need a centre forward. And they'll probably pay the stupid money for him. Yeah. Will he be a West Ham type of player? Yeah, possibly, but I don't think we want him paying that kind of money for someone.
I agree. He's 28, coming on 29
That's what I'm
years
saying.
old.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't. I don't think he fits the profile of what our director of football is all about.
Yeah,
which
I
is
agree.
why I'm a little bit. I don't quite understand. I do understand the links to Gibbs White, but I look at the way we're setting up and how we're supposed to be, the direction we're supposed to be moving in, and it just seems to swim against the tide.
I had a conversation Saturday morning, a couple of lads, Newcastle Spurs and Arsenal Spurs, and we were talking. Well, you know them, James and Andy. Yeah. And I said, this is a laughable comment when you think about it right now. They call West Ham the academy. But do they? Why? Why would they call West Ham the academy? When's the last real product from the academy that's come into the team and shone? I'm not talking about Mark. Huh? Well, did he come from the academy? His formative years were at Chelsea, and then he come to West Ham when he was 14, 15. He got in the team at 18. So his academy learning was from Chelsea. His young age at 6, 7. I mean, it's nuts they even go to football clubs at that age. Beyond me. But if you want to use him as an example, he's one. Yeah, Glenn Johnson got in the team again. It's not
Ben Johnson.
Huh? Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I said. Ben Johnson. Got in the team. Did I say Glenn Johnson? Did I?
I thought you did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Glenn Johnson was the last one that I can remember way back, and then he went to Liverpool after one season. Then you're going back.
Tompkins. Tompkins.
Well, okay, Tompkins. Where is he now? Crystal Palace.
It's a short. I'm not trying to. It's a short list.
No, have the argument. That's what we're here for. What I'm saying is, none of them boys, with the exception of Declan Rice, have torn up trees since they left West Ham. Yeah, Declan Rice will probably have a league winners medals this year to show for his efforts, and good luck to him. But
I mean, we had Dean Garner, who everyone was throwing their toys out about how we let him go and one thing and another. Be honest, it looks like good business to have got the money we got for him now, doesn't it?
Well, he's gone. He's been let go, isn't he, from West Brom? He's out of contract the end of the season, not getting a new one.
What I'm saying, we actually, it looks like good business.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For the money we got for him.
I see that Chester's playing a couple of times and he looked half decent. I don't know where he's gone now. He's on loan somewhere.
Yeah, Ashby's moved on, and
there's
not a Newcastle. He's at Oxford or somewhere, isn't he?
Well, here's the thing with all these young lads as well. It's managing them, because their expectations are too much. Yeah, and I know without dropping names and stuff. I know for a fact.
I'm just going to grab a beer, Mick, but I can hear you.
Yeah, know for a fact that he was on £2,000 a week when he was at West Ham. Yeah, and they offered him 5, and he went to Newcastle for 20. He hasn't kicked a ball for them. Yeah, and he's 22, 3, is he now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have stayed at West Ham. He'd have pushed Soufal. I thought he was a lovely little player, by the way. Yeah, but straight away he's gone for the money, and I don't know, as you said, he's playing League 1 or 2 football somewhere. Yeah, on loan.
Oxford, I think he's at Oxford. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so where it's hard to manage these kids. It's like the young centre forward. What's his name? Nabama. Again. Oh, do you know? I've seen him play. I've seen all these cameos. He ain't that good. He's all right.
No,
He's not going to tear up trees though. It's not worth giving a 30 grand, 40 grand a week contract to, which is apparent. I don't know if that's the fact, but that's what I'm hearing off other people. He's looking for stupid money.
The other one is comes to mind is Ngakia. He's another one. Wanted all the money, first team money, and one thing and another. He's doing nothing, is he?
Yeah, but where is our academy players? That's the thing, Jeff. How badly, and I'm gonna make like chalk and cheese comparisons, and that would be for a lot of Premier League teams as well. Look what Liverpool are doing. Look at what Liverpool are doing, and why can't West Ham and by the way, every other Premier League team do that? Why do Manchester City feel it necessary to sell Cole Palmer for £40 million? To me, just love him. I think he's a fantastic player. And then go and pay West Ham 80 grand for Paqueta. Where's that? Yeah. I don't think Paqueta, he's got a bit more experience, but I don't know if he's any better of a player, Paqueta, than Cole Palmer. People will argue that, but that's my opinion.
Well, they're different players, aren't they? They can't
make direct
comparison.
Yeah. They're both left-footed. Well, Cole Palmer's left and right-footed. You wouldn't know the difference. But he can play on the left. He can play in the middle. Yeah. And yeah, he done the right thing. He said, look, I want first-team football, so I'm off. He wasn't moaning that he wanted a bigger contract and he'd sit on the bench. He said, no, I want to play football. And that's what these young lads should be doing. I can't believe that all these academies that are in the Premier League cannot produce young players. The only one, people, again, will probably come back with better facts, but the only one I can really see right now that's really producing young players is Liverpool. This is absolutely crackers. Yeah. You've got that Bramfrey at Everton. There's the odd one, but what I'm saying is that they should be half a dozen players pushing to get in the first team. Yeah,
we've got Miley at Newcastle, haven't you?
Yeah,
but you're right. It's the very, very exceptional talents that are coming through.
Well, are they exceptional? When you say the very, very exceptional talents, yeah, how have Liverpool got so many exceptional talents? To give them a chance to prove themselves. My point is, you don't see. I'm talking about West Ham now. You don't see these. They might sit on the bench, yeah, but they never get on. Then you'll see another name on the bench next week. He doesn't get on. I'd rather just go and play for the under-23s than to sit on the bench, giving them experience. That's just a pain in the ass.
And I think that's part of the problem, by the way, is the structure. We've got rid of the old combination league and one thing or another. And basically, the kids are playing against kids in the under-23s. And I think they learn their trade better in the old format of like reserve team football.
Reserve team football play against men.
Where they're playing against men and professionals, coming back from injury. And I just think they learn their trade much better. And I think it prepares them for the step up to first team football a lot better. I might be wrong, but that's my view.
Absolutely is. Again, look, it's a different era. I played football in a different era, but when I was 14, I played with my brothers. I played with my brother who was 17. He was playing for a men's team, just a pub team. Saturday afternoon, I was 14. I was playing with my brother, against men. Yeah, and I got kicked around, and you got up, and you got back up, and you just played.
Let me get rid of this slide here.
Yeah, you got up and you played your football, and that was it. Yeah. Now, he can't play with him, and he can't play with him because little Joey might get hurt. That's from a very early age, and then he just goes up. Can you imagine Mickey Antonio playing against a 19-year-old coming back from injury and wanting to play 45 minutes an hour. Yeah, that's the biggest lesson he'll get in football.
The 19-year-old, he'll learn so much, won't he?
Of course he'll learn so much.
And you know, I think that's really what's missing in the pyramid now.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't know if he would actually produce more players as West Ham or as the Premier League as a whole, but I do think it would be better for their development.
It's also better for finances. This is what I'm saying. When we talk about, we can't buy this player and we can't buy that player, and we have to sell, like, apparently we sold Fornals and Ben Rama, which was the right thing to do for me, for them and for the club. Get them out the door. Yeah. Where's the kids replacing them? You know, where are the West Ham kids replacing them players? Yeah, coming in. You keep going on about Scholes. Is it Scholes?
Scholes. I mean, I haven't seen loads of him, but what I've seen of him, I just think he's just not getting them opportunities, and it annoys me. This is nothing against Cresswell, by the way. I think he's been an absolute brilliant servant to the club, but he wants out. He's wanted out for a while. He's of that age. Perfect opportunity to bring Scholes, an up-and-coming player, into the fold. Give him some minutes in games, European game. He's getting nowhere near it. And
European games are a bit harder than last season, but he could come on when we're 2-0 up with 10 or 15 minutes to go, and like good professionals that the rest of the team are, they should be protecting him a little bit. You know, there's this the academy.
Young Earthy came on in the Freiburg game, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're 5-0 up, and there's 5 minutes left. You know, and it's just a lip service exercise, really. But that kid's face, right? It meant the world to him.
Of course it did. He made
so happy.
His first team debut.
I mean, and he could have had 20 minutes in that game. It wouldn't have hurt.
It's a joke to call us the academy right now. That's our thing, isn't it? The West Ham Academy. Well, you know, the people in the back there, Mark Noble and the likes of, who came through it. Yeah, they want to have a long look at themselves when we're talking about money and football. Yeah, we spend a fortune on these academies, an absolute fortune. Where are the young players? That is my question to West Ham tonight. Where are they, and why aren't we using them?
And there's a huge argument in the fan base at the moment about our young players and what a good crop that we've got. And we undoubtedly have. And I think maybe in years gone by, recent years, there might be arguments that actually they're just not quite good enough. They're not quite going to make the grade. And we've got the likes of Ngakia or whatever as examples that they were the cream of the crop that came through, and they're not good enough for that top level. But these kids that are knocking around in the under-23s now, some of them really do look like they need the opportunity and they're not getting them. And that is down to the structure at the club, whether you want to lay that at David Moyes' door or it's a wider problem within the club, but it is a problem.
It's the fear of losing, Jeff. It's the fear of losing. That's the problem. It's the fear of losing. No one wants to put someone out there. They think, if he goes, I'm going to weaken the side and we might lose. It's that fear of losing. There's a good point made by Jamie on Saturday. We had breakfast with Andy and Jamie on Saturday, and we were talking about financial fair play, and I don't agree with financial fair play as a whole. A business is a business. If you can afford it, you can afford it, but you shouldn't be losing. You shouldn't be losing any money. You should be running the football club properly. So, good thing Jamie come up. He says there should be an academy player in that. There should be 3 academy players in the first team squad, i.e., on the bench every week. And at some point, 2 of them have to play. And I thought it's a great idea. Why are we spending this why are West Ham spending money that they don't have? Why is anyone spending money they don't have? You wouldn't survive in any other business spending tens, and it is tens of millions every year, 30, 40, 50 million more than you're bringing in. Crazy.
We've tried all these structures in the leagues before, though, haven't we? So, I mean, we're rewinding a long way now, but where we had the 4 foreigner rule, you only allowed 4 foreigners in there, and then it has to be made up of British, English players.
That was for the national teams, wasn't it? That was to do with the national teams. But so the national team wasn't being affected, particularly in this country. And at the time, I think Italy was sort of saying there's too many foreigners and the national team's being affected. But we never won Feckle before or Feckle after, so it didn't make a lot of difference.
No.
But, yeah. I know we're still losing there, by the way, Jeff.
We're still losing, yeah.
Yeah. So, but there has to be a proper restructure. You know, it's not. I know we've gone off what you want to talk about, but as to Nottingham Forest, yeah. Again, why are they being penalised? Why are Everton being penalised when it is clear there are clubs in that who have got better solicitors who are prepared to spend copious amounts of money to keep the FA at bay? It's not right. You know, at the end of the day, Nottingham Forest have a right to compete. It's a business. If they go bust, that's their problem. It's their problem. It's not Premier League's problem. It's their problem. They go out of business. Well, yeah.
There's another case coming now, isn't there, with Leicester?
Oh, no, yeah, Leicester. And that's a bigger joke. Not even in the Premier League.
And now they're talking about, well, yeah, but the FFP rules apply across the leagues. Mm-hmm. But they're talking about they're not going to penalise Leicester this year, although it's within their power. And then they're going to start them in the event of them being found guilty or whatever on minus points next year if they get promoted.
So, and again, the whole thing stinks because we want to go back again. Luton Town deducted 30 points. 30 points. Yeah.
Although they were initially deducted 10, weren't they?
Yeah, and
then they got penalised for going into administration.
Another 30 points,
which then came into minus 30 points.
Yeah, which got them relegated, like they just tumbled out of the league. Yeah. You know, so the whole system.
Although they did win the Johnson's Paint Trophy that year, so big up to Luton for giving 2 fingers to the FA and winning a trophy before they dropped out of the league.
Yeah. And all the players got 5 litres bonus of Matt White, so they were very happy.
Right, anyway, I suppose we ought to move this on and get back to...
yeah, I'm going to have to go in a minute, mate. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah.
Well, you want to do this European stuff?
Yeah, we'll do the Bayer Leverkusen game, and I'll have to
do Leverkusen.
Yeah.
So, our upcoming opponents in Europe, Leverkusen, top of their league, 1-1-1-1-1. So they're in pretty impressive form. Now,
yeah, but again,
I've heard some speculation about, they're going to be happy because they're going to be in the Champions League next year, so they're not going to worry about the Europa League and this, that, and the other. I have to say, I don't buy into that at all.
No, not at all.
Right. They are 10 points clear of Bayern Munich with 8 games to go. They are looking to say that, I'm not saying they've won that league, but they're looking to say we're not giving up that lead. We're going to win the league and we're going to be in the Champions League. But they absolutely, right, want to win that Europa League as well. If you're Xabi Alonso, if you're that manager, you want everything, don't you?
Well, you know my feelings on that. You're in it to win it no matter what it is. So
They're also in the German Cup still in the semi-final, so they're looking to go to a fight. They're essentially looking to do a treble. So they're not parking the Europa League because we'll win the German Cup and we're going to be in the Champions League by winning the Bundesliga, are they? They are going for everything.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Bit like us, yeah. They haven't come up with a real stern test in Europe yet. Their next stern test is us, and our next stern test is them. And I'm in a proper test. Yeah. We haven't. Who do we lose to? Olympiacos, yeah. Olympiacos, we were just sloppy and whatever. But this is our first proper test in Europe. Yeah. This will be their first proper test. And bearing in mind that they are doing so well to be ahead of Bayern Munich by that amount of points. But that's due to Bayern Munich's failures rather than their amazing run. They are playing in the German league, which is not the greatest. All their best players really do tend to play abroad. Yeah, and maybe I've got that totally wrong, but over the past, a lot of their players do play abroad. Italy, France, which is not a great league to be fair. England, they do play abroad a bit. So, I'm not convinced that if Bayern Munich have been off it this year, I don't think I know they've beaten Bayern Munich. Don't get me wrong, I'm contradicting myself a bit here, but it's a bit like playing in Scotland. You always know Rangers or Celtic are going to win it. No one else ever does, unless there's 3 full moons in a year or something. Yeah, but this. Well, if he stay there next season, would he win the league again with them? I doubt it. He's having a purple patch as a manager. I'm not saying he's not a good manager. He clearly is, but he's having a purple patch. Yeah, he needs to be judged over another 3 or 4 seasons where it's a bit tougher. His easy way out for him. I'm not talking about I'm talking about Alonso. His easy way out for him is to go to Bayern Munich. If he goes to Liverpool, then we'll find out what manager he is. So there's a lot of hype around him and the team, but he's
not going to Liverpool because Gerrard's going to be their next manager, isn't he? I thought that was that was it. He was off to Villa and Rangers and all that. He was grooming himself for the Liverpool job.
Well, he was.
Are they not so keen on him now?
Well, no, he's on holiday somewhere, and he's gone in the sand. He's gone the sand and the sea, and he's somewhere. But it's it's the Man United poison chalice, that Liverpool job, like when Fergie left. And I think he'll take the easy way out and go to Bayern Munich myself. I could be totally wrong and doing him disservice, but if he goes to Liverpool, then you'll see whether he's the great manager they make him out to be. You've got to be consistent as a manager over a period of time. So he's had 70. I think he's had 70 odd games in charge for Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah, considering that Moyes had over 1,000 games, it kind of puts it into perspective, doesn't it? You know what I mean? So
it does. And talking about their opposition, I mean, their group contained Hacken. I don't really know anything about them, I have to say. Mulder, they're the Swedish side, aren't they?
They're old team. And
Carrierbag, who they beat comprehensively in their group games, but found it a little bit more difficult when it came to the knockout stages. Interestingly, they, much like ourselves, they played a team from their own group stage. So,
Carrierbag,
yeah.
Which they beat 5-1 and 1-0, 6-0 on they beat them
6-1 on aggregate over their group stage, but stumbled past I think it's fair to say, in the round of 16.
Yeah. You can't.
There were 2 goals down to them in both games, I think.
You can't play brilliantly against all teams all the time. They beat the opposition in front of you, and even if you play badly, you win the game, then you've done well. But I just think for West Ham and Bayer Leverkusen, the position is exactly the same. Yeah, whoever
had a little bit of help in their last half a dozen games as well. It was just
I see that 10 men.
Matches, they finished against 10 men, twice against Carrierbag, and Wolfsburg, Köln, and Mainz that all had red cards against Leverkusen. So maybe that's something. I don't know I didn't go into it and research it too much more to find out what the red cards were all about. But that might be something for us to be a little bit aware of. Not
I
try
think
and get someone sent off.
I would say this from my own personal point of view, that if we go to Leverkusen and get a positive result, that is coming away with a draw. Yeah,
Positive result would be a draw.
Right. If we come away with a draw, and then we get Alvarez back in the team, and then we take him to the stadium, then we'd have a good chance. If they come away with a 2-0 lead, we'll find it difficult.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think
we can. If we come away from there 1-0, 2-1 down, I think we can overturn that at the London Stadium.
I don't think we want to go. I don't think we wouldn't want to be more than a goal behind. To be fair.
I agree. If we're more than a goal down, I think that's a really, really big ask.
Because if we played in the style, not in the way we play, because we were poor against. What's wrong with me? Tired. Last round, who was it?
Freiburg.
If we played like we did against Freiburg away from home, in terms of just sitting in there trying to control the game, not trying to do too much, we tried to play out a draw, which is ridiculous, and then we got caught out. But
I think he will set up like that. Do you not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if we do that and we come away with a positive result, then it's down to them when they come to London to see what they can do. And I know what we can do on a European night under the floodlights with the front four up there, and going for it. So, again, I think it's a 50-50 call.
And Alvarez will be back, which is, he's so influential to our team. He's as influential as Paqueta in a completely different role, but he's just as important.
Right, so if I was to change that name at the top of that thing from Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool, we just say we need to get into Europe through the league, wouldn't we? We wouldn't even be talking about the game.
If we were, there's no way we go 2 legs against Liverpool. We'd be out.
The tie. They're not in the same class as Liverpool, and we've. For me, and I'm not disrespecting the 2 Italian teams. Yeah, again, I'd rather face one of them 2 over 2 legs than I would Liverpool. So
I agree with that. We did get the tough side of the draw, though, didn't we?
Huh?
We did get the tough side of the draw.
We didn't, because we didn't get Liverpool.
Well, that aside, avoiding Liverpool was a massive.
Yeah, and what I'm saying, if we get to Dublin, if West Ham make it to Dublin, and they're playing Liverpool in a one-off, then
one game we could beat.
You have a chance, but you're playing
90 minutes.
I don't sit here feeling, I could be totally wrong. We could be talking after the first game we lost it 6-0, but I'm not sitting here thinking that they're going to get it their own way over 2 legs all the time. They will, of course, they'll score, and of course they'll have big moments of possession, but I still think West Ham can turn them over.
Well, I think the consensus amongst West Ham fans, whether it's just blind optimism or based on anything else, is that I think we all kind of half fancy ourselves against Leverkusen.
Yeah, I'd say half fancy ourselves probably the right way. I'm not sitting here thinking, well, it was a good run. I think the run is still on. Yeah, we might sit here in a couple of weeks' time or whatever and go, can't believe we've lost over the 2 legs 8-0 or something. Or we could be sitting here saying, you know what, over the 2 legs we're the better side and we deserve to win. You just don't know. It's football again, isn't it? You just never know.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't feel sitting here that we don't have a chance. I think we've a 50-50 chance. Yeah, whereas I think we're playing Liverpool, we have definitely a 90% chance. Yeah, so we'll see. Well, that's for me, Jeff. We'll talk about the others after. I know you've got some stuff on the Italians, but we could do that on the next one, can't we?
We could do that on the next one. Some of the stats might be a bit out of date, so I might have to.
Well, you can put a date on it. What's the score?
It's still 2-1.
Yeah. All right. Listen, buddy. Yeah. Thank you for tonight.
No problem. Good to see you, Mick.
And you, mate.
I won't be here next week because I'm going to the game.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah,
so we'll with the week after will be the week of the Leverkusen game, I think.
Right. Okie dokie.
So we'll do. That'll be a good time to we'll know a little bit more on who is and isn't available for both sides. So I'm sure we'll do a bit on that, and then we can take a look at the Italians for when we get past the Germans. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're living in hope on that one, and it's not a forlorn hope. I think we have a serious chance.
Yeah, I think we've got a chance too.
All right, buddy. Take care.
No worries. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining me.
Bye-bye. Bye.
See you soon. Cheers, mate. Okay, so back on my own now. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us in the chat. And please give us your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please take your time to do that. And as I said, won't be here next Tuesday. I'm going to the game, so we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thanks ever so much for being with us, and we'll see you in the lounge again soon.